Hello, welcome to my channel Laptop Fix Made Easy. In this video, we will cover the most common laptop issue, which is overheating, and guide you to solve the issue. Now, an overheating laptop is a phenomenon where a laptop's CPU or GPU temperature is beyond the recommended temperature from the manufacturer. Signs of overheating could be identified from loud fan noises, hot laptop surfaces, or slow or jittering performance issues. There are several causes that could lead to a laptop overheating. It includes running heavy program, blocked fans, broken component, dried thermal paste, or lack of ventilation. Overheating often happens to CPU and GPU, but may be caused by different reasons. If we assume without any diagnosis, then replacing the thermal paste would be a waste if the issue isn't a dried thermal paste to start with. To identify a specific overheating issue, I would recommend that you download Throttle Stop. After downloading Throttle Stop, go check the CPU temperature on idle. If the CPU temperature is around 40 to 60 degrees Celsius, it is running normally, but if the CPU temperature is above 60 degrees Celsius when idling or above 90 degrees Celsius when running heavy applications, it shows a confirmation to thermal throttling. Not only CPU, Throttle Stop also shows GPU temperature. Normally, the GPU wouldn't be used nor overheat during idle. But if a GPU temperature is above 80 degrees Celsius while rendering or gaming, it shows that the GPU is overheating. I would recommend checking the GPU temperature through MSI Master benchmark software. Throttle Stop is not only used to check the temperature of CPU and GPU, but it's also used to undervolt a CPU. Undervolting the CPU reduces the power draw to the CPU to reduce heat without draining the performance of the CPU itself, making it a free but viable solution. To undervolt the CPU, click FIVR option and set the offset voltage to negative 100 to 150 volts depending on the capability of your laptop's undervolt tolerance. Afterward, click the CPU cache option and offset it to negative 100 to negative 150 volts. Make sure to research your laptop specs to set the offset voltage with the correct setting. Offsetting the voltage too much will harm your laptop internals, as it would cause your laptop to crash and reboot longer, potentially corrupting some operating system's file. The fan works by vacuuming air and exhausting it through the heatsink. But along the way, some dust might be clogging up the fan itself or the heatsink and prevent airflow from flowing through the laptop exhaust. To clean a laptop fan, first prepare a screwdriver, brush, a card and some screw containers. Second, remove all of the screws in the back panel of the laptop and open the panel. Third, unplug the laptop battery to cut electricity from the motherboard for safety reasons. Fourth, slowly unscrew the heatsink. Make sure to put the screw properly in the screw container and slowly lift the heatsink. Fifth, detach the fan cable from the motherboard carefully and slowly extract it out. 6. Clean the fan using a small soft brush, and also clean the heatsink with a brush if any dust has accumulated. If your fan is broken, as the fan doesn't have any dust with it not producing any airflow, replace it with a spare original fan from the laptop's manufacturer. 7. Place the fan back to its original position. Screw it tightly and reattach the cable to the motherboard. Now is also a good time to replace the thermal paste of the CPU and GPU. It is an essential paste that transfers the heat from the CPU to the heatsink by covering microscopic holes. The first step is to remove the excess thermal paste with a wipe and rubbing alcohol. Second, open the thermal paste package and find a syringe with a thermal paste inside it. Some companies do provide thermal paste applier like this, but isn't really necessary. Third, slowly apply the thermal paste to the CPU and GPU and make a small rice shape as shown in the video. Make sure you apply the correct amount of thermal paste. Too little will cause the lower surface area covered and overheat. Too much will also cause less direct contact between the CPU and the heatsink. Fourth, place the heatsink back into the original position slowly to even out the thermal paste and screw it in. Put the back cover on, screw it evenly, and your laptop is freshly thermal pasted. The fifth option is the simplest solution. Provide a clearance underneath the laptop in order to provide more airflow for the laptop. I would recommend using a book or better with a dedicated laptop cooler as shown in the video. Although the laptop cooler would make the laptop much higher in height or higher tilt angle, which takes some time to get used to. Here are the before and after of the fakes. To prevent the laptop from overheating again, it is advised to not run multiple heavy programs such as games or video editors all at once to reduce the load of the CPU and GPU. Also, do not run a heavy program for too long as the thermal paste could dry up and the fan would clog up faster. I would advise to also maintain your laptop by cleaning your fan every 5 to 12 months to prevent major airflow clogging.